Plot twist. The reason why Levi smiled was because he finally found someone shorter than him. Holy flap, Historia is short. Imagine only coming up to Levi's shoulder. She's gotta only be like 4'10". Because I swear I remember reading somewhere that Levi is only like 5'2". Okay, yeah, I just googled it and it said Historia is 4'7". I think the only logical solution now is that Levi has to marry her. Although Reiner wouldn't be too happy about that. Neither would Ymir. But I'm pretty sure Levi could take Reiner. And Porco deleted Ymir from the server. Guys? Kenny! Isayama, an inspiring art skill improvement story. Damn, homie got really lucky, honestly, that his manga got picked up with those drawing skills in that first photo. But it is crazy impressive how many hours he must have put in to improve that fast. I'm not entirely sure how true this is, but I remember seeing a statement stating that Isayama won a manga award for the worst drawings the year Attack on Titan came out. People be hating on CGI, but my homie Isayama was reading How to Draw Manga Part 2. My girlfriend painted me a wall titan. Bro, you're absolutely going to wake up in the middle of the night, see that, and poop yourself. Also, the Titan looks like he's pooping himself right now. Teacher, you can't hear pictures. Me. His second favorite name to yell, first being Eren. Me, naming my son Kenny so I can yell at him like this. It's all fun and games until Kenny grows up and watches AOT and then realizes you've been yelling at him like Levi, and then proceeds to try and murder you with nail guns and a leaf blower tied to his back like a jetpack. Priorities. No matter what, Levi will always be cool. Introverts in real life, introverts online, introverts in their imagination. So flapping accurate. I absolutely believe delusionally, in my mind, in my imagination, I am Levi, even if he is 5'2". Delicious. Mom, eat your food. 4-year-old me. No. Mom makes airplane noises. Me. Finally, some good flapping food. Also, this scene pissed me off. Reiner's getting bodied by Eren, and of course, whiny little biznatch burrito had to jump down and interrupt it. Wall area has been breached. Barber, what do you want? Me? Have you seen Attack on Titan? Barber, say no more. On that day, hair follicles received a grave reminder. It doesn't feel the same, does it? Naruto Shippuden ran for 11 years, 2007 to 2017. Attack on Titan ran for 10 years, 2013 to 2022. Bro, imagine if AOT had filler arcs. I'm so excited for the cleaning arc with Levi. AOT suddenly turns into a slice of life anime, which we kinda got in that railroad building episode. Damn, we never got a beach episode. Wait, actually, we kinda did. Now that I'm thinking about it, the first 3 seasons was all about getting to the beach episode. Also, side note, another great reason why it doesn't feel the same between Shippuden and AOT is because AOT had a 4-year break in between season 1 and 2. But to be fair, that does make sense because it is a seasonal anime, as all anime should be. It also feels different because there's like 5 times the amount of episodes in Shippuden compared to AOT. And you can actually recommend AOT to new anime fans, unlike Shippuden, because Shippuden has like 500 episodes. And a massive chunk of them are filler, and I would take breaks over filler any day. I am very glad that AOT didn't add any filler like Naruto. I drew the scene where Mikasa stares at Bertolt. Hope you like it. Bro, I'm pretty sure you just screenshotted the episode. Boom. Gotcha. Exposed. I'm just kidding. I can easily tell you have great art skills. Vincent van Gogh is gonna rise from the dead as he's gonna see that he now has a worthy challenger. I love how you've drawn Bertolt. The overwhelming expressions in his face are incredible. You can see the hopelessness, desperation, and fear in his eyes. This must have taken you years to complete. The level of detail is astounding. I can actually even hear the picture. I can hear Mikasa coming up and saying, knock knock. And Bertolt says, who's there? Mur. Mur who? Murder. Honestly, you're gonna have to put a warning on this. It's scarier than the original. But that's the question. He's probably thinking about other girls. But what if a male inherits the female Titan? Introducing the Femboy Titan. But to be fair, in all honesty, there is an actual very likely chance that it just remains a female Titan and he remains a male Titan inside the female Titan. I mean, they are kind of just like giant mechs, so it would make sense that it's still just a female Titan. And it would be kind of interesting. There's also a chance that, like, because it's a male inside the female Titan, they might not be able to fully utilize all of the female Titan powers because he's not a female. Kind of similar to how non-royals can't fully utilize the founding Titan. This theory is also supported just by the fact that both the Warhammer Titan and the Cart Titan both have more male features and both of the users are female. So it's not a far stretch to say that the female Titan would just remain a female regardless of the user. And upon doing more research, it's actually discovered the fact that in the Japanese kanji, it's actually more closely translated to female type Titan, not female Titan. Because the body structure resembles more of a female, but you also have to remember that Titans don't have genitals, so therefore there is no gender. Plot twist. This whole theory can't happen anyways, because the paths are predetermined. She ate Eden's mom. Sandra Bullock looks like the Titan that ate Eden's mom. She really does look like her. Someone should cast her in the live action. She has the royal bloodline. You're kidding. Can't you see I'm a Titan? I started rewatching AOT and finally arrived to this scene. Can't y'all see I'm a Titan? That line from Porco in Season 4 hits way deeper to me. It perfectly captures the cultural divide between the Eldians and Marleyans. The Eldians have spent generations living in fear of Titans, those monsters that destroy their homes, devour their families, and shape their entire existence around survival. To them, Titans represent trauma, loss, and dehumanization. But to the Marleyans, Titans are just weapons, tools to be controlled and used for dominance. They've never had to face the terror of being on the other end to be prey. So when Porco transforms, expecting everyone to recoil in horror, their lack of fear confuses him. This is a raw moment for the audience, a glimpse into how vastly different their perspectives are. Porco doesn't understand that he's surrounded by people who have spent their entire lives traumatized and conditioned to see Titans as monsters. Homie must not have gotten the memo after hearing what Reiner had to deal with. Then again, him and all the other people there haven't had to deal with people that can fly around them without vehicles. I think it also has a lot to deal with the fact of just the sheer shock of witnessing how cold and proficient they are. He definitely underestimated them. Also, Porco is pretty well portrayed as being very egotistical, and so he probably did get warned by Reiner and Zeke, but didn't listen to him. As a Titan shifter who basically is viewed as some sort of invincible vehicle, to him, all of them flying around when he heard stories just sounded like little flies to be squashed, but he really should have just thought of them as murder hornets that wanted freedom. Maybe not outright saying it, but you know in the back of their minds, Reiner and Zeke were both like, first time? So yes, Porco, they can see that you're a Titan. That's the problem. You essentially turned yourself into a giant 5-meter neon sign that says, "Kill me, please!" And Porco's little nutcracker brain can't comprehend that. You see the wheels slowly starting to turn as Porco is starting to realize that Marley has just foregone this entire group of people for over a century that essentially just turned them into anti-Titan killing machines. The Marley soldiers are so used to being on the offensive and fighting people who have absolutely no idea how to deal with Titans, and now they're up against a group that specializes in killing Titans that doesn't give a flap that you're 2 stories tall. See you on Sunday, devils. Flap you, I'll see you next Sunday. For some reason, when it was airing, I got my episodes on Monday. The Armored Titan. Armored Titan Season 1 through 3. Armored Titan Season 4. Bro, I was dying in the last episode when Jean was holding Reiner up in the air and said, "For the Armored Titan, your armor sure does break often." It's funny to think how true that is. Although, to be fair, if you think about it, it could have something to do with the fact that he was losing the will to live. And also, his time was running out. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if this is exactly how it works, but I think he only had like a year left, so his powers could have just been weakening. Also, to be fair, it doesn't really help at the fact that everyone around him is kind of getting power-ups. You know, Eren getting new Titan powers, along with the Eldians getting more advanced technology to fight against Titans because they're starting to understand how the Titan powers work, so they made more equipment that just made it easier to beat Reiner. Also, he was still the Armored Titan in Season 4. He was the plot Armored Titan. This fits perfectly. Squid Annie just wanted to be alone, but instead she had to take crappy jobs with crappy pay and crappy shifts. So of course she was annoyed by Sponge Reiner and Pat Holt. Love you, Annie. The new Levi statue in Japan. I like the meme, but I can't help but feel like it was a missed opportunity for the quote to say, "Give up on your dreams and die." POV, you're a side character in Attack on Titan. Nom. This also reminds me of that baby Titan in the awful live-action movie. Also, this meme is false because you don't have to be a side character. Manga, anime, Sony Pictures Animation. And that's when she got hit by Truck-kun and isekai'd into the Attack on Titan world. Bro, what? X and Y after betraying the alphabet to join numbers. Bro just spoiled math for me. Bro watched AOT before finishing 5th grade. I never expected this, to be honest. Before Season 3, Episode 57? Can't wait for the basement reveal. I wonder what Grisha was hiding. After Season 3, Episode 57? Marley? Eldia? Racism? What the flap? People before the episode? I want to know the truth! People after the episode? No, wait! Yeah, the basement reveal did not disappoint and turned the entire series on its head. It essentially changed and flipped the script from the point of the series being the horror of the Titans to the horror of humans. Because even though the Titans are technically monsters, the humans like Sergeant Gross are far more cruel and disgusting. It was definitely my favorite plot twist in the whole anime, and what made AOT a 10 out of 10 for me. And it's crazy because most of us didn't see it coming, but there were a lot of clues that were left throughout the series. Like, for example, when Reiner and Bertolt were talking about their hometown, when you learn that they're Titan Shifters, you start to think that, oh, there must be some sort of village outside the wall full of Titan Shifters. Ah yes, Eren Yeager, Australia. What's the capital of Australia? Bro, I just want to know who voted Australia doesn't exist. Also, to be fair, voting for Eren does make sense. Everything in Australia wants to kill you. That's pretty much Eren personified. My village was attacked by Titans. Honestly, I don't think he was even acting. Although, you can't forget Boruto Doduo's side-eye. Poor Bluetoother. My mother was killed by a Titan when Wall Maria was destroyed. OMG. That's sad. Goodness, and you said it was the Armored Titan and Colossal Titan? Meanwhile, future Eren. Also, to be fair, as far as the Connie thing goes, I don't think Reiner and Bertolt even knew. They had no idea that Zeke was coming, so to them, they were just very confused as to why a village randomly just turned into Titans. Not to mention, Reiner has a split personality, so he genuinely just probably has no clue what's going on.